Guys, I'm trying to tell you. Listen, I just got done watching, but I'm still watching. I got like 14 minutes left of Gladiator 2. And I was surprised that it was out. You know what I mean? I know it came out a while ago, and I be kind of losing track of time, like you guys do. We got so much to do. Da da da. When I say the movie is good, a lot of times when you have like a part two or what they call a sequel, sometimes a prequel, it can kind of not be good. Whoever the writers are of this movie is great. And then all of the actors are really great. I liked how they kind of gelled together. But I really, you guys know I love me some Denzel. Denzel did so well in his role. And it's one thing that Denzel does. He does several things well. But one thing in his acting that he does is that he acts a part so well. Not only do you believe that he embodies the character, it's the small nuances that he almost gives like a backstory that you feel like this character is like coming to life. He literally animates the whole character. I don't want to give it away, but I'm going to give it away. So if you haven't seen the movie, spoiler alert. It was the small nuances that he came from being like a slave to where he fought his way through in order to be able to be ahead. The one who was able to choose the gladiators, right? And the way he kind of maneuvered in and out, you could kind of see, that enslavement dealt with him a little bit differently than it did with I would call him the antagonist, than it did with the protagonist of the film, which was Marcus, Maximus' son, which was, I wasn't even, that was something I wasn't expecting, you know what I mean? And it was written in beautifully. So he wasn't a villain, but he was like almost a villain. You know what I mean? Like you had the ones like the two emperors, which were, I believe, of the lineage of the guy, what was it, Cornelius or whatever, the guy that was really strange in the first one. They embodied their character very well too, like that very overly lascivious, lawless, kind of effeminate and feminine, but that whole Rome, like what you would consider a caricature of Rome, to where it was embarrassing of like the Senate and the council he had around him, and even the people, if you will, and so they were kind of looked at as jokes, even though they was in leadership. And then you have like the undercurrent of this almost villain, this antagonizing, energy of Denzel Washington. It's kind of like you can relate to him. You can almost understand that his enslavement caused him to learn how things moved and how things worked in Rome. They even changed his name. So with this name change, you can almost see that he kind of assimilated himself. He adapted to that environment and knew how to move through it. It was just amazing. It's amazing. So I got to finish up watching the end of it because I can't give the end away because I ain't watched it. But then I also love the guy that played the son of Maximus, where if you almost kind of look at it from an anthropological standpoint, as far as like the study of people, or where, even a spiritual standpoint, in some instances where it talks about like generational curses, like his wife died, like the women he loved the most died, just like his father. And it bore, and it kind of like birthed in him like this innate rage, rage against the machine, but he's very much so still a part of the machine. It's in his blood, as his father was. So I just really love the different like styles that you can see. Again, we were talking about leadership styles where I can relate to every last person in that film as far as like in their leadership roles. I can relate to the crazy ones that were the crazy twins where they was lascivious and they was just like, I'm here for the entertainment. I want all of the attention, because attention is a new currency. And a lot of y'all, getting paid in that currency, you're getting a lot of attention. So I really enjoy that aspect of it where you just being wild, you just enjoying it. And then I also enjoy Denzel Washington's is more gritty, I got it out the mud type of thing. Like, I got here, ain't nobody gonna take me away, and I'm about to, shut this down. We're gonna have a whole new, type of thing. But then I also like Maximus's son as well. I believe they call him Hannah or Hanno. His character where he was a little bit more noble. He had like memories of his father, but then he had to leave and go on a run. So he kind of got it out the mud as well and made a life for himself. Even though he was a foreigner, he had to come back home. So whoever wrote this movie is so multi-layered, and even the characters are multifaceted. I believe that Denzel Washington should get an Oscar for this film. And I'm not just saying it because he's one of my favorite actors, okay? Him and Will Smith is just like, I think that's everybody's favorite actor. They like up there. They up there. You understand? Brad Pitt too in Legends of the Fall. Go check that out. That's a good movie. But I think that he should get, definitely should get, because I love the fact that he was like almost a villain. Where you could kind of understand, you kind of almost feel bad for him a little bit like, man, if I would have went through, it's like it's very, very relatable when you have characters that are very relatable like that. It makes the film real. And the realer it is, I think the better it is. So definitely they should get some awards for that. He should definitely get a Oscar for that. And this is actually, and it's odd because he's a little bit in his older age, right? He's an older gentleman. And I think a lot of times people think like in their prime or their heyday, you know, when he played Malcolm X, or even when he played Training Day, right? We like, but this one here, this one is a little bit more complex. You could see that he's so comfortable in his skill and his gift of playing these roles. He embodied it so much. He's almost like Mister off of Color Purple, where he embodied it so much you can't see him differently. I kind of have to almost look again because the way he played this role, sometimes you could see there must be some type of characteristics in this role that he probably felt personally. I think those make the best roles for people who are actors. You can kind of, relate to them on a personal level. So you guys need to go check out Gladiator 2. It is on Paramount Plus. Okay, it is great. And I'm about to go finish watching it. Peace.